It's Sunday. It is 10 to 10. And I want to do a video today on what's been, how we've been impacted. But I know we're not the only care home to be impacted by this, since restrictions have been removed for the general public. In care, you still have to isolate, you still have to test. We're all in care working really hard to prevent the spread of COVID. As a small business, this has massively impacted us. I've had more cases of COVID in the last 4 weeks than I did the entire pandemic. I know that's the case for other homes. I know of a home that I don't think they had any cases, and now they've been really hit badly. Where this becomes incredibly difficult, care staff, obviously outside of work, access the community. There is no protections in the community, so they're at a lot higher risk of exposure. And same with my clients. I currently have 2 client cases, and one official COVID case, but another COVID case on the staff, although negative. Her doctor feels it probably is COVID, so she's also not at work. We just sort of had 2 cases on the staffing team. You get a suspension from your council. Every council deals with it differently, but in BCP that is an outbreak. So we've just come out of a suspension and we've gone into another suspension. And where this is particularly impacting us is staffing levels. So we're so small that having a small amount of people off, it has a really big impact. And I'm listening to myself this morning. I literally am so worried about getting COVID. I don't know if I'm experiencing exhaustion symptoms or if I'm getting sick. So obviously I'm testing daily. I'm currently living in my business. I came down on the 25th of January. I'm still here. I don't know when I'll be able to go home. I was already covering yesterday afternoon, but then I had to go out in the morning as well. So after working so continuously, my body's really feeling the impact of this. And today I've got cover. So in principle, it would be a good time for me to do some paperwork, but I cannot explain how sore I am. Like, my body hurts, my back hurts, I'm very, very tired. My throat sounds dodgy, so this is worrying me. Like, I'm wondering, is my test going to be positive today? If it is, how am I going to cover? I'm covering so much that when I do get a minute, that would be ideal to do actually what my job is. I'm so tired that, you know, like today would be an ideal day to be on the computer and be updating paperwork. I'm shattered, absolutely shattered. I just read this morning, I think there's 1 million cases. This is going to get worse. So I just don't understand why the government isn't responding. I know I saw, but I'd already heard in our WhatsApp group that there was a real issue in Somerset. I think I've since seen a document from NHS highlighting that concern. So every council potentially is going to be experiencing staffing shortages. It also then becomes difficult to meet safe staffing levels. I think in the last 10 days or a week, I'm so tired, I don't know, every day's the same. I've managed to keep my normal staffing except for about 5 hours. We didn't go into the realms of unsafe staffing because we were still able to administer medication safely, administer personal care, provide food, provide drinks, but we've got 2 people self-isolating, so it's quite time consuming because anything that goes into their room, you know, you're going to have to put extra PPE on and deliver it to them. We're a learning disability home, so at the beginning of the pandemic, my goal really was prevention, because I'm aware that some of my clients won't really either understand the need to self-isolate. I'm hoping someone's going to answer that. It's been answered. So they might not understand the need to self-isolate, or they do understand, but the concept of it would cause really negative behaviours, because it's difficult to stay in your room for a period of time. So the two clients I have, one is doing really well with that, but the other one is struggling to understand. In his mind, he sees that now that his sore throat isn't as bad as it was, he feels like he's not contagious, but he is still contagious. So yesterday I had to create like an easy read. So it's sort of like a chart, and it has the pictures for his bedroom, and then when we need to test, and then when he can come out of his bedroom. And then I've done a section of tick boxes so he can tick off every day, so then he'll see where he is within the isolation. He also struggles with his hearing. So at one point the other day, I stupidly, I had a face visor on, but he wasn't understanding, and he needed to lip read. So I had pulled down my masks, and now I am really worried that I've exposed myself to COVID. Yesterday, I managed to get him to put his hearing aids on, and I had an FFP2 with a surgical mask over and a visor, and I was speaking incredibly loudly. So I think he understands, but listening to myself, I'm really concerned what my result will be today. It might just be that I'm really tired and exhausted. To me, this is worse than we've ever seen. Like, I can't believe the government are not responding. And I wanted to do a video of how difficult it is. And I woke up at about 5. One of my clients that is self-isolating is calling the landline if he needs anything. So one of his calls woke me up. I literally was unable to get out of bed till about 8:30. And I've just fed my cats and my dog. I'm in so much pain. I'm going to slowly start taking my medication and hoping that makes me feel a bit better. But I would really have liked to utilise the day to do paperwork. I'm just so tired that it just feels like I should use today to be in bed, listen to podcasts, and probably have hot water bottles all over my body. So I'm rambling because I'm not even clear on what my message is, other than this is so difficult. It is exhausting. And I don't think there's enough highlight on the strain on care in hospitals at the moment. With COVID running free, people are going to be off sick with COVID, which puts a huge amount of pressure on those that aren't off sick. And for us as a small home, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm really tired. And my clients mean everything to me. And I'm really desperate that it doesn't leave the bedrooms that we have it in. And I'm also concerned, what if one of my clients that struggles to isolate gets a positive? How then it's going to just run freely through our house. And I've worked so hard to prevent that from happening. We have, air filtration, we have FFP2, so we have all sorts of things, but I just don't understand why government is not being responsive. I couldn't even read the whole news. I've just read some headlines, so I had read, about 1 million cases this week, and then I read a headline about the government saying this is nothing to worry about. Maybe for you it isn't, for the rest of us that are negatively impacted by it. It really is a worry. Like, it really, really is. So, I just want to highlight the exhaustion, the tiredness, the disappointment. You're not protecting vulnerable people, and you're really putting a huge, huge amount of pressure on care and probably hospitals. If you keep letting it run free, COVID hasn't gone, I saw I can't even think of her name because I don't like her and I can't bear to even remember it. we've beat the war on COVID. What kind of a delusional statement is that? COVID is not a war opponent, it's a virus. Its sole purpose is to survive, and it's really good at that. It will mutate. It will survive. It is. I felt like some of the statements I'm hearing about being wild beating with COVID, like, at best it's delusional. At worst, it's a really conscious effort to provide propaganda that isn't reflective of a reality for political interest, and that's concerning. I've never felt so let down by government, and I keep trying to reach out. I keep sending emails. I keep trying to highlight things, and I'm wasting my time. I might as well bang my head against this wall, which is actually a ceiling. You know what I mean? So that's my video today. I'm really tired. I'm so disappointed. I have to recharge today because I don't know what next week is going to be like. I don't know if we're going to have any more cases. I don't really fully know what the reinfection rate or how this is going to mutate. Is reinfection going to be an option in a short space of time? Like, I'm so tired. So I just want to highlight this. I believe this is a COVID crisis within care. It's not going to get better. It's definitely going to get worse. And the government needs to hear this and do something.